I onboarded 2 new creators and booked 5 appointments using Instagram outreach this week. And I'll be showing you my 3-part strategy to find creators, actually have them respond, and then book them in along with my personal script and stats. What you're looking at on the left-hand side of my screen is everyone I've reached out to over the last few weeks. And the way I found all these people is using the Instagram search method, which I store them all in this lead list here, which you see I've collected 541 people. So the way I do this is first things first, I pick a niche of creator that I'd like to target. Let's say, for example, I'm going after a business coach. So first things first, I would type in the keyline business coach here, and it's going to immediately pop out a list of anywhere between 20 to 40 people. Immediately, these are leads that I can actually use, and all I'd have to do is hold down the control button and just like this, click through onto each of them, and you can see they pop out into a new tab, which if I wanted to grab any single one of them, I could go like this, copy it, and then put it on over into my lead list. And then once I want to actually grab more people, I'm going to show you how I do that. Then I head to ChatGPT and type in something along the lines of, give me... Once I have these, it's going to populate with a whole bunch of other keywords that I can use, and it's going to give me maybe 1 to 10 at first. Then I can say something along the lines of, give me 40 more. And just by doing this, it's going to pop out a whole bunch of keywords that I've already take any one of these. So something along the lines of organizational coach, just like this, and I were to head right and back over on Instagram, take this, type it in, I would get a whole nother list of people where I can do the exact same thing and then grab these leads and paste them right on over to my Instagram, just like this. And I'm going to repeat this until I've got about 100 leads on the day, which takes me anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm not going to hold anything back, and I'm actually going to give you the sauce that I used to send outreaches yesterday. So this is called mass client outreach, and I follow a strategy that doesn't make me feel like I'm using a bait and switch tactic on clients. First things first is my hook message. So I say something along the lines of, was checking out your page, love the content. That's what I'll do if it's a woman. And then if it's a man, what I'll say is solid stuff, man, and replace this for a period. Then I use my line, I make it a rule to connect with a few cool people every day, and was wondering where you're based out of. This is a completely harmless message that holds our authority frame and doesn't position us as a client, while also provoking a relationship in a justified way that seems very innocent and gets us into conversation with them. From that point on, they're going to give us a reply. Let's say they're from California. And from that point on, we're going to go through and follow up with small talk. Oh, I've always wanted to be there. Oh, how's the weather? Oh, I have some form of relation to that place. And if you don't, then you can use ChatGPT or just do some research to see what you think of it and give them and let them know your honest feedback. So from this message, you're going to get a response where they say they are from a certain place. And this is going to open up the door to build a lot of rapport with the prospect. You're then either going to research the place if you have no clue where it is, or you're going to go ahead and simply relate it to your own life if you do have a story that connects to it. Then from that point on, you can ask questions like, oh, how's the weather here? Have you been to this attraction here? Oh, my family member's from here. And you can begin to actually open up the conversation and build rapport with them. From that point on, after we've had some small talk, we're going to go back and forth with them. Maybe they ask us what we do. We don't really need to push or actually have any pitch in this phase of the conversation. From that point on, once we have success here, we're going to not be pushy and let it wait for 24 hours. And then the next day, we're going to follow up with something that is absolutely heat. So saw you were personalization, and this is something to do with their profile, something they have going on, something about their program or even their life. And then I spent 30 minutes on an audit of, and then funnel name would be the name of their company and how it could help you bring on more and then the kind of clients they have. So whether it's personal training clients, whether it is new signups, whatever their kind of client is called, you're going to use that specific language here. And then this worked for third party or third party case study, and then you're going to achieve a desired result that they actually got doing this. So what I mean by that is a first or third party case study. A third party case study is when you have no result of actually doing this yourself and you're leveraging someone else who did it that wasn't actually yours and you're not claiming that you did it. So let's say, for example, Alex Hormozy blew up with content. If you're running a content service and you think you could help them with your content, you're going to go ahead here and say, oh, the same way that Alex Hormozy blew up his brand to whatever desired result. If you have a direct case study of someone you work with, you're going to insert that right here and then the desired result that they actually achieved. Then from that point on, you're going to check up and send a Loom link. And these Loom videos are not meant to be long. I don't want you spending 10 to 15 minutes watching through this entire thing because it works the same way as a YouTube video. So if you're going to attract someone's attention, you have to provoke curiosity and interest in their mind. And if you just drop a 15-minute Instagram message and you've just met this person, they're never going to watch through the entire thing. The best thing to do is to make a video that is anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds long and ask them to watch it on 2x speed just to see what they think. And from that point on, what we're going to do is if we believe we can actually help them and show places where we can actually provide them value, we're going to get a response and then be able to position the call in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people though, they aren't going to respond on the first message. After we've sent this message, unless we did a really good job in the small talk phase, it is going to take follow-ups. And I promise you, follow-ups are where the money is made. And after the second, third, or fourth follow-up, you're going to get a lot of responses, because what it actually shows people is that you're serious about what you do and you're on the ball, you're dialed, and you really actually care about them. So the way I do these follow-ups, very simple. First one is their name ? Then it's going to be a response to a story or highlight they have just with a comment that has nothing to do with the follow-up. Then I'd like to ask for some feedback, see how I can actually improve this message. A lot of the time they'll respond to that, and you can kind of figure out what they didn't like about the message and solve it as an objection on the spot to still actually go ahead and book them in. The next one's going to be the exact same, a response to a story or highlight. Then, did I do something wrong? This one is absolutely killer. Once again, another response to a story or highlight. Any updates ? Follow-up number 8. This one, if they do not respond to any of them, is going to be the one that gets them. It's not because insert funny negative personalization, right? So one of the ones that I use is, if I take off my hat, it's not because I have a big forehead, right? Or from that point on, you can relate it to something you have on your profile that they can apparently see as a part of you. Or another one is, where should we go from here? This is the one where we start to break up from the actual messages that we send their inbox, and then we just do story replies to infinity. And the way we manage this all is pretty simple. We just have our tracker here, where I'm going to link this in the description, by the way. After we set the first message, so if we were to go something along the lines of follow-up 1, and then we were to go all the way to the top just to show you the sections here, we've got as of, and if we were to set the as of date to a certain date here, we can just set the next follow-up date to something along the lines of this day, and then when we actually want to find the day or to follow up with someone, we can just go and type in the number of the day that we have and see exactly what we need to do for that given day. The final step is to actually send out a message. So I'm going to take the ADHD and organization coach, and I'm going to show you exactly how I would approach this live. So landing on our profile here, I see that we've got some pin posts. Then we've also got quite a few actual story highlights and then an active story, which is perfect. So first things first, we're not actually going to follow someone. It's not a good way to start it, and it's going to make our Instagram account get banned if we do it too often. So what we're going to do is we're going to start just by leaving a few likes here, by clicking into some posts, dropping a like. You can see that's on May 3rd. Drop some recent posts, drop a like, and then one like this, drop a like. And then after you've dropped 3 likes, the next step is going to be to drop a comment on a post. So probably the best one to drop a comment on the post one is one that we can actually get context and relate to ourselves. So if we were to read through this and see exactly about her life and what she's done, click through here. Okay, so now I found what I can actually relate to about planners, and this is a very hard example compared to most they're actually going to see, but an example comment that I would write is, this is exactly on point with myself. I use Google Calendar to manage my days, but I only started to actually be consistent with it after I implemented protocols, routines, and, well, systems. Nail on the head. Keep up the great content. Now, as you can see with this comment, I have made it unreasonably long, because when someone receives this in their inbox, they're going to go, okay, well, this guy has liked 3 posts from myself, and then they've also left this unreasonably long comment, which makes them think that you actually care, and even if it doesn't, it makes you stand out because no one is writing comments that long. If you were to click to any of other posts, because this is the one where I'm actually the only comment, so that's even better, and see what people are saying, they're always going to be pretty short comments, such as this one where they say, I love you. And we're really going to stand out from a lot of the competition that we now have in the inbox. So the final step is going to be the approach. We're going to head right back on over to our script here, and we're going to scroll all the way up to our first message, and we're going to take this. We're going to first off tweak it back to the version that I do to send out to women. Love the content. And then we're going to switch this to an exclamation mark. And we're going to copy this, and then we're going to head right back on over to her page. So then we're going to click into her stories and see what she has going on her day right now. Then we're going to actually see that she's got quite a bit going on. And a little pro hack that we can do is actually responding to one of their 3rd or 4th stories just to show that we went through them all. And what I like to do is I like to leave a few hearts right here. And then we can say something along the lines of just pasting our message here and then send. And based on this, if we send out 50 to 100 of these per day, we're going to generate a ridiculous amount of responses. And after all the follow-ups, I've been able to sign at least 1 client per 100 messages that I send every single day.